gamers! My name is Sally and I am the founder and creator of Weirdrin Games. Some of you might know that we are making our second title, Familiar Grounds, and some of you have been asking what is going on with that, and I have been bad at keeping you informed. So I thought I would do a little mini update and also explain why I've been bad. So, Familiar Grounds is in production. I did pitch for some funding a couple of months ago and didn't get it. It happens, thus is the indie life. One of the reasons I think we didn't get it, and I'm being really honest with myself here, is I just don't think the game was ready. We were very early in production. I had a bit of concept art, I had a little bit of grey boxing, you might have seen, but it wasn't really anywhere near the level that I would like it to be at to actually pitch for some funding. The other reason is I am a solo developer, so things are very slow because it's just me. I do have somebody that I'm working with to help work out some of the mechanics and things like that, but they're a contractor, they're not an employee, so they're not working with me. We are sort of co-developing a couple of games together. I'm working on some of their projects, they're working on some of mine. We're sharing hours, but that means that things can only go at the pace that I work at, and currently that's very slow. And part of the reason for that is I obviously work a full-time job. I'm a lecturer at university, which I love doing, and it is my passion, and I'm so excited about being a lecturer. But that does mean for me that game deving comes sort of second. I am super excited about this project though, but I think it needs to change. What I mean by that is the more I've been looking at it recently, the more that I think I was going down a path of making something that has definitely been done before, and I think it's been done before in better ways, which is, you know, sometimes we've got to be honest with ourselves that our ideas are not that unique and that other people are doing it better, especially very recently. A couple of games have just dropped from slightly bigger studios who've obviously been working on these games for a couple of years, unbeknownst to me, and they're just doing these games better. This style of game, this sort of farming, cozy management sim with mythical creatures. And that's really cool because now I get to play those games, but it also means that I get to reframe and rethink about Familiar Ground. One of the things I've been thinking about recently is that I was sort of framing the game as a farm where you breed and you look after these animals and you get rare traits, and you know, the more effort you put in and the more love you give them, the more likely a rare trait will appear. I was working on all of that, but actually now that I think about it, I don't really love the idea of you breeding animals for specific traits and then selling them on. It kind of felt a bit like a puppy farm, or like these really dodgy outfits where they breed just to sell. So I was thinking more about animals because obviously I love animals. I've got 2 rescue cats, and then I was thinking about rescues. What if it was a mythical animal shelter in which you have to look through applications and meet with NPCs to decide if they're the right home? Think Papers, Please meets Cozy Farming Sim, smash those together. You're making decisions that really matter because you're deciding which homes these mythical creatures are going to go to and whether they're appropriate to go to those homes. I mean, if somebody lives in a 1-bedroom flat, you're not going to sell them this massive hell beast, are you? It would still be about resource management because obviously you are running an animal shelter, you have to keep the shelter running, you have to make sure all the animals are fed, the bedding is changed, so it'll still be resource management. It'll still be running something, but just rather than a farm, we're thinking more about conservation, rehoming, and it being more of an animal shelter. Let me know what you think about these changes and whether I'm just thinking too deep about this or whether this is something you could be interested in. Do you want to run a magical animal shelter? Would that be interesting to you, and where the choices really matter, because obviously the animals really matter. Anyway, that's sort of where I'm at. I'm currently reframing the game and thinking about it, so I'm sort of back in the concepting phase, annoyingly enough, and the grey boxing phase, so I will show you whatever I can show you when I can.